In today's video, we're going to talk about the future of the DCEU, the DC Cinematic Universe. Maybe all isn't over for characters and actors we thought it was over for, because James Gunn is very misleading, mysterious. He says one thing but means another thing. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube boys? Do you have? You are new around here. Why don't you subscribe? Make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture based content that we cover on a daily basis. If you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below. Do you think what I've just said in this video will actually be true based on actions and things going around social media? Also, if you could, check us out on Instagram at WarStew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. And also, if you could, check us out on Twitter or WarStewG. Right, let's get into this video. So, the Flash trailer came out recently at the Super Bowl, aka The Flash No Way Home, because people think it's gonna bang close to 2 billion, because people think that Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck have the pulling power that Andrew Garfield, Willem Dafoe, and Tobey Maguire have. Do they have the same pulling power? We don't know, but according to the Super Bowl, Warner Bros. Paid a lot of freaking money for an advert, and respectfully, it looks like it's done pretty well. So, apparently, this is true. Breaking through this year's was Warner Bros. DC The Flash coming out in June, and Universal Fast 10 May the 19th, which ranked 3rd and 4th of the most watched Super Bowl trailers in relish mix history, respectively, with a 24-hour viewership of 97.4 million and 94.1 million last year. Marvel Studios' trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness had the most post-game traffic with 93.1 million views. Important to note, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and The Flash dropped their trailers cold on Super Bowl Sunday. So, it did really well at the Super Bowl. But what does that actually mean? What is the click? Maybe not the click-through rate, but will this actually translate to the normal general audience going to watch the Flash movie? Because let's be honest, I chat to people on a daily basis that don't even know the difference between Marvel and DC. It's literally the same thing. The superhero genre is literally one thing to the general population outside of huge pop culture fans, I guess you could say. So will people go and watch the Flash movie? We don't know, but these metrics are really good. I mean, personally, I don't think the metrics would mean that much, because they don't really until you see the numbers of what the Flash will do when people go to watch it. But studios, they really love review scores, they really love metrics, they really love trailer views, so it could do well. I mean, I really hope the Flash No Way Home does pretty well, because you've got a bunch of Batmans in it, potentially George Clooney, potentially Christian Bale, and now all of a sudden, people are talking like there's going to be lots of random cameos dropping in and out whenever people feel like it. Well, realistically, did they film a bunch of secret cameos? Maybe there's one that's been floating around, a new Batman at the end of the movie. I really don't think there's going to be many surprise cameos, but a lot of people are hyped for Michael Keaton's variation of Batman. Even looks like there's a Nightmare Keaton suit, which is pretty damn interesting. So a lot of people came at me about my comments of the Flash trailer being too savage, being too savvy, WarStew being a freaking savage. I was just being honest. I wasn't being a savage. I was just being honest. I think it looks like a good movie, but it looks like a Batman movie. And then people are like, yo, but the original DC Flashpoint had a lot of Batman. Yeah, I get it. Thomas Wayne was Batman. I get the whole premise of Flashpoint, but it was still based around the Reverse Flash. And people saying that all of a sudden the Dark Flash has been revealed. The Dark Flash has been the villain for since the first test screener happened, over a year ago. So the whole Dark Flash wasn't added last minute. The Dark Flash was always the villain. And I'm a massive Flash fan. The channel logo, Flash, banner, Flash, intro, outro, Flash. I'm a huge fan. It's just Ezra Miller hasn't earned my respect as the Flash yet. But this movie could change it, irrespective to what he does in his personal life. That's not going to change my opinion on if I think he's a good Flash. Hopefully, he will be. So, Jeff Snyder, who apparently has some clout on the internet. He's a writer for a bunch of things. Kind of got some creditation. So, he says this. One of my writers just filled a doozy of a column about a certain someone, and he put Batfleck in a moving GIF. And then he followed up saying, column is an opinion piece, no news here, though my boy Ben should consider reading it whenever it goes up. So a lot of people came to the conclusion that Jeff Snyder was on about one of his writers writing a column implying that Ben Affleck could be the Batman in the Batman Brave and Bold, because we know James Gunn isn't really transparent at all. He likes to pride himself on being transparent, but no, he's not really being transparent because he keeps contradicting himself every other day. Not so much every other day at the moment. So the Batman, the Brave and Bold, has an older Batman and Damian Wayne. I mean, some people think he could be 35. It could be Batfleck. It might not be Batfleck. I mean, it would be interesting if Ben Affleck Batman did stay around. We know James Gunn likes him, but that makes no difference because James Gunn is also a fan of Henry Cavill Superman. Although I still think a Crisis event, Kingdom Come event, I still think Henry would come back to play Superman again if he was asked, because Henry loves the character that much. He would do it even though he's been dicked around so many times. So, do you think that Batfleck is returning and he's really the DCU Batman? Because to be honest, the DC Batman doesn't really have to be that involved in Ben Affleck. He's in better shape than most people half his age, or he could be at least with a few months training. So anything is possible in this new DC universe because there's an Elseworld universe and they are making it up as they go along. They have a rough plan. They're not going to plan out 10 years of a cinematic universe from October till now. So, also in the news, it appears James Gunn isn't going to have a comic book accurate Superman after all. Now hold your horse, lads, before you start saying I'm hating on James Gunn. I'm not. Superman does kill in every comic book version, every animation version, every video game version. So to take away Superman's ability to kill if he needs to kill, and also the lesson that Clark Kent learned from actually killing, I mean, we don't need to go as dark as what happened in Man of Steel, when Superman snapped Zod's neck. That always really happens. So, he's taken away the greatest lesson you can give Superman, which is to be human, to be humane. And I think it's a really bad mistake. I really hope James Gunn knows what he's on about. So, plot details for his movie. James Gunn said this: I really love the idea of Superman. He's a Kansas farmer who is very idealistical. His biggest weakness is that he will never kill anyone. What the frickin' hell are you on about? That's his greatest strength, that he can kill people, but he chooses not to. Not that he can't and won't. I mean, what the frickin' hell are you on about? He doesn't want to hurt a living soul. I like that kind of goodness about Superman. Really, this is not even a comic book version of Superman. You're just jungling a bunch of ideas together. James Gunn also confirmed that he will not be adopting All-Star Superman. So you all bought that comic book for no reason. Instead, he will adapt the part from the comic that balances with incredible strength and morality of the character that Gunn wants to invoke within the film. Really, as I said, Superman kills. It's not his weakness. To ignore this lesson is to ignore the huge growth. Irrespective of if he wanted to use Henry Cavill Superman, Superman has to kill. It's this whole perception that Batman can't use guns. And it's like Michael Keaton, that literally was a nutter. Keaton's version of Batman was insane. I really think, did he really need to say this? And it's comic book accurate. It's animation accurate. To say he loves the comic books, but his biggest weakness is he won't kill a living soul. So what happens when Zod comes down? So let me get you straight. This Superman won't kill a living soul, but Woman of Tomorrow, Supergirl, the synopsis we've got for that is she was raised in a different place. She's an absolute savage. She's an absolute beast. And sounds like she's going to be a killer, but Superman's not going to be. So we're having this soft version of Superman where he'd rather tell the villains, no, don't you do that. I'll give up and I'll take you where I'll do whatever you want. We are having a peaceful Superman. I get it. You want to differentiate this Superman to Henry Cavill Superman. We get it. But what, is Superman going to have to submit to people because he can't kill him? He can't kill a living soul, a living thing? But does this just correlate to humans or anything, really? Because the word in here is his biggest weakness is he will never kill anyone. That's going to be the biggest weakness of the whole Superman. And the internet's not really reacted very well to this. Discovery is going to waste their money to produce the worst Superman alliteration ever. Did he really need to say this? Superman is opposed to killing, but has killed several times in the comics. He has killed Zod, Doomsday in the famous Death of Superman comics, copies of Doomsday, countless parademons, cyborgs, Superman Brainiac, and so on and so on. So already, I'm really disappointed by this Superman. His biggest weakness is he won't kill. Does this Superman protect himself? Will he actually defend someone? So what does this mean when he goes up against the likes of Darkseid or any of the new gods that are clearly going to be as strong, if not stronger? What's he going to do? Just trap him somewhere? Trap him in the Phantom Zone? He's not going to kill. I think this is a big mistake. We're going to get a soft Superman. I get it. I'm not saying that this Superman has to kill every single villain, but what's he going to do? Run away when he sees a cat or something? Geez, you lads and ladettes are going to be like, yo, what's you're freaking hating. I get it. Your Superman has to be completely different to the one we've already got or had, but really, the Superman biggest weakness is he won't kill or harm a living soul. Does that include villains? Does that include enemies who aren't, I mean, they're all souls technically, because if they're living, they're moving. So what? Superman isn't going to defend himself. I really can't wait to find out who the villain for this movie is, because we already know he's not going to be able to kill this villain. So what's he going to do? Make him like feel sorry and go, no, okay, I'm not going to do anything now. I'm just going to go. So like always, guys, I'm not trolling. It's constructive criticism. Why make that Superman's greatest weakness? His greatest weakness should be that he feels like a human, not that he won't hurt anyone. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at WhatStew. Check us out on Twitter at WhatStewG. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.